What's up, guys? It's Jacob Rodriguez, and I just want to welcome you all to Rod's Radio, a basketball podcast that dives into everything basketball, from NBA to college. I just want to thank you guys for listening and supporting. It really means a lot. And remember, OTO, baby, overcome the odds. What's good, y'all? Jacob here, J-Rod, Rod, whatever you want to call me. We back at it again. Episode 10, man. Episode 10. I can't thank you guys enough, man. It's been a long journey. I started back in December of last year. Now it's February. Time goes by quick. I want to thank everybody who supports me, everybody who listens to me. I have the utmost respect for every single one of you guys. I want to take this time to shout out my supporters who have donated to my podcast. Fun Bobby and Porter. I appreciate you guys. You guys are a blessing. Yeah, it's Saturday, another episode of Rod's Radio, but it's also North Central game day. We number 9 in the country right now, and we taking on number 4 in the country, Illinois Wesleyan. It's going to be a battle, but I know my boys are going to pull it off. Episode 10 is going to be a good one, guys. Today we're talking about the All-Star game. Yeah, it's been announced, but is it a good decision, especially during these times? Also, I pick my All-Stars regardless if there's going to be a game for sure or not. We talk about Rookie of the Year. The rookies this year, they're looking special, man. They are looking special. But there seems to be a clear favorite now. Also, finally, I'm going to talk college hoops. Yeah, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 5 picks for the upcoming draft. And finally, we'll dive into the funny-ass week it's been in the NBA. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, it was announced that the NBA will have an All-Star game in Atlanta on March 7th. It was said before that the All-Star game probably wouldn't happen. For obvious reasons, we're in a pandemic. The NBA and the NBPA are probably going to finalize the agreement by next week. They had a lot of stuff in the memo that they were talking about. Among items in the memo, players will continue to test daily during the All-Star break, and no international travel will be allowed. But you can travel within the United States, including Hawaii, Puerto Rico, other territories in the U.S. Players traveling out of the market during break must stay in private accommodations, and players must return to tests with teams no later than the second day prior to the team's first game following the break. The NBA and NBPA are still working through details of the healthy and safety rules that will govern all players during the March 5th and 10th All-Star break. Now, for fans, it's amazing. Another All-Star game. We remember last year's All-Star game. You know, when Kobe Bryant passed, they announced the All-Star MVP will be named the Kobe Bryant MVP. And rightfully so. Came down to a final free throw. We wanted a game-winning shot. AD got fouled, and that was the game. It was exciting, to say the least. So fans are happy. I'm happy. I wanted to see an All-Star game this season. And it looks like we're going to get one. But how did the players feel? They asked LeBron about playing in the All-Star game. He said 0 energy and 0 interest. You had guys agree with him. Kemba Walker was one of them. He said, we all seen what LeBron said. He's a smart man. I agree. What does this tell you about the league right now? They asked Kawhi Leonard, who normally keeps his opinions to himself. You never hear Kawhi Leonard just go out and say his opinion. He doesn't say too much. But he had this to say. It is what it is at this point. We all know why we're playing. There's money on the line. Just putting money over health right now. Ouch. With this much heat, does Adam Silver still hold this All-Star game? 2 star players speaking out wasn't bad enough. Maybe this was. Yesterday, Kevin Durant was ruled out due to health and safety protocols. But then they were like, you know what? No, you could play. He then came off the bench for the first time in his career. Played in the first half of the game. And then he got pulled again for safety reasons. I mean, what is going on? He was ruled out remainder of the game and is questionable for today's game. It doesn't seem likely that he's going to play due to health and safety protocols. Now, we remember that Kevin Durant wasn't playing earlier because of the same reason. He was out a couple games this season already. He had COVID back in March of last year. It just seems odd. It really does. Kevin Durant tested negative 3 times, but he came in contact with somebody that tested positive, and that was good enough for the league for them to say, no, you're not playing. How many times are we going to have to go through this? How many times? Look, I want nothing more than an all-star game. I love All-Star Weekend. But this day and age, is it the right idea? It was bad enough we're not doing a bubble. It was bad enough. What are we at right now? Like 20 postponed games already? And I'm not saying the NBA is doing a bad job. I believe they're doing a good job for the most part. But there's only so much the NBA can do. And it's being shown. Everybody's giving Adam Silver crap. Everybody's giving the NBA crap. I mean, would they have better solutions? The only better solution I can think of is not having an All-Star game. As bad as I want it, I don't think we should have one. Just for the fact that it does not make sense that players can't dap up each other at the end of the games, all that stuff. But now we're going to have an all-star game with everybody from all the teams coming together. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And what happens when one of the all-stars tests positive for COVID? What do we do then? We got 15 players on each all-star team from all 30 NBA teams almost testing positive, and they just went and spreaded COVID to their team. What are we going to do then? Cancel the season? Another quote-unquote asterisk on the season? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I hate the times we live in. I really do. I hope this all ends soon, but for right now, I believe the NBA needs to step in and be like, no, we're not going to have the NBA All-Star game this season. We'll name All-Stars, but we won't have the game. I don't think anybody in the league will be mad at not having an NBA All-Star game. I don't think so. It's already bad enough that it's a short turnaround season and a shortened season at that. The NBA's just got to make a better decision. They do. Do I think they will? Time will tell. I believe people like Chris Paul need to step in, Kyrie Irving even. You know, those are the heads of the Players Association. We just all need to be safe. And the NBA All-Star Game is not safe. If you tuned into last week's episode of Rod's Radio, you would have heard me say that this week I would be giving my All-Star predictions for starters and reserves. So let's get this started, shall we? For the Western Conference, the two All-Star starters I got are Luka Doncic and Stephen Curry. Now, I would put Damian Lillard over Luka, but it doesn't seem realistic that Damian Lillard would receive more votes than Luka, just because Luka's international. And they're both having tremendous seasons, but Damian Lillard's team has a winning record. Now, I don't know what's going on in Dallas. I have no idea. But they need to get it together quick. Stephen Curry, what's there to say about Stephen Curry? That hasn't already been seen. Never doubt this man, ever. The Warriors will still be making the playoffs, and they're going to make noise in the playoffs. Just you wait and see. For the Western Conference front court, I got LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, and Kawhi Leonard. Are those any surprises this season? No. LeBron James, Jokic, and Kawhi are all in the MVP conversation this season. All of them. Who I think is number one? LeBron James. But Nikola Jokic, he's up there too. It's crazy how good Jokic and Embiid are. These two are generational talents. Could the MVP go to a big man this season? I said it last week. Joel Embiid's good. Would I be mad at Joel Embiid or LeBron receiving the trophy? Like, does it matter to me? Not that much, because they're both deserving of it. I just said today that LeBron should be number one. I mean, just look at his stats. It's crazy. He's the first player in NBA history to have 800 games of 25-plus points. 25. That's unheard of. My prediction could keep changing and changing. But LeBron and Embiid, they're up there. As far as Kawhi is having an MVP season as well. Do I think Kawhi will ever win one? No. But he deserves to be an all-star starter. I wish I could put Anthony Davis in this conversation. I wish I could. But he is struggling this season. He's struggling. People be like, how is he struggling? He's averaging 21, 8, and 3. This is a man who should be averaging 27 a game. And he's not. And luckily, the Lakers are good. Luckily, LeBron is still in his prime. He's going to be okay. This All-Star game doesn't mean anything. And now for my Eastern Conference picks. The two guards I have starting for the Eastern Conference, Kyrie Irving and Bradley Beal. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyrie Irving is balling this season. Balling. Hell, I didn't even know if he was going to be the same player coming back from his absence that he had earlier in the season, or even playing alongside James Harden. But he's doing well. The Nets are doing well now. They're doing better than they did before. Kyrie Irving should be starting in the All-Star game. There's no debate. Bradley Beal. It's about time this man gets some credit. It's about damn time. It was reported that Bradley Beal does not want to leave Washington, D.C., and that the Wizards don't even want to trade him. I don't get why Bradley Beal just won't leave. Just request a trade. Be on a winning team. Don't waste your prime in D.C. But that's another conversation. Bradley Beal is an all-star. He's averaging 33 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Leading the league in scoring right now. If you don't think Bradley Beal's a starter in this all-star game, you're an idiot. People will be like, what about Zach LaVine? What about him? The Bulls suck. Yeah, you heard me. The Bulls suck. They just had Nikola Vucevic drop 43 on him. Vucevic, great player. One of the most underrated players in this league. But 43? The Bulls sucking is another conversation as well. We're talking about all-stars. We're talking about the all-stars. My bad. As far as the front court goes, I got Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, and Jason Tatum. Kevin Durant, one amazing season. Coming off an Achilles injuries and doing what he's doing, it's unheard of. He's averaging 29 a game. 29. Damn near 30 coming off an Achilles injury. Like, what? Are you crazy? How is this possible? I didn't think he was going to be the same player. Ever since the start of this podcast, I've been saying Kevin Durant might not be the same player. But boy, did he tell me to shut the hell up. He's one of my favorite players to watch. It's guaranteed 30 every night. But now, KD's got some beef with the NBA. Being pulled because of protocols. What does this mean for his role in the All-Star game? Does Kevin Durant even want to play in that? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Joel Embiid, like I said before, MVP candidate. There's no question he's an all-star. Joel Embiid is having the best season of his career. Joel Embiid heard the noise. He heard it. He heard the noise that Nikola Jokic is way better than him. He heard the noise that he might not show up in the playoffs. And look at him now, averaging 29 and 10. I'm so happy for Joel Embiid. He's one of my favorite players. And he deserves to be an all-star. Next, we got Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is the best player on the Boston Celtics. This shouldn't be a debate. But every time I'm on Twitter, I see Jaylen Brown's better than Tatum. I wonder what drugs people took to make them say that. I wonder what drugs. It's hard to fathom, honestly. It is. To think that Jaylen Brown's above Jason Tatum. Not in this world, he isn't. Not in this world. Jason Tatum is way better than Jaylen Brown. Way better. They nearly have identical stats, but Jason Tatum is the better player. I want to give Jason Tatum the ball at the end of the game. I do. I wouldn't give him to Jaylen Brown. The Celtics, they're only 11-9. And, you know, they lost a lot of games when Jason Tatum was out. Jason Tatum's an all-star starter this season. As far as reserves go, I believe you get 8 of them, correct? For the Eastern Conference reserves, I got Trae Young, James Harden, Giannis, Jaylen Brown, Sabonis, Sexton, Randall, and LaVine. None of those should be up for debate. Honestly, none of them. Giannis, he's still doing what he's doing. This may not be his best season. Regardless, he's averaging 27, 11, and 5. 27, 11, and 5. And nobody's talking about it. Isn't that crazy? I think it's crazy. Do I still think Giannis is a regular season superstar? Yeah. James Harden as well. But they're having great seasons, so they deserve to be all-stars. Trae Young, I believe that would be his first. I'm not sure. But he deserves it too. Jaylen Brown, he deserves it too. Jason Tatum's the better player, but Jaylen Brown deserves it. No question. Domantas Sabonis, he's averaging 21, 11, and 5. This man is all-around player. The Pacers, don't sleep on the Pacers. They're only 12 and 11, but don't sleep. I was sleeping. I don't want you guys to sleep too. Colin Sexton, we saw what he did to the Nets. We saw what he was doing to the big names in this league. He's up there now. God damn it, make him an all-star. And Zach LaVine, I know I was saying the Bulls suck, but Zach LaVine, he doesn't deserve to be a starter, but he's having an all-star season. Put him on the team. Now for the Western Conference. Off the bench, I got Dame, Donovan Mitchell, Paul George, AD, Christian Wood, Rudy Gobert, CJ McCollum, and DeMar DeRozan. Can you be mad at my picks? Hell no. Because they're right. They are. They're right. Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, they're having tremendous seasons. They're great. The Jazz have the best record in the NBA right now. The best record. Let's not forget about that. CJ McCollum and Dame Lillard, they're surprising people too. I didn't think the Trailblazers were going to have a good record this season. I said they were going to be an 8th seed. Right now I think they're 5th. But it's still early. Paul George, he's proving people wrong, man. Paul George, all-star. Yeah. For now. Wait till the postseason. He's an all-star this season. He is. But let's see what he does in the playoffs. Christian Wood, he might be most improved player. He might be. He's doing great, man. He's doing great. It's about time he's getting his recognition. He's balling in Houston. Houston is doing fine after the James Harden trade, and Christian Wood is a part of that. He's the reason for their success. He is. John Wall and them boys in Houston holding it down for H-Town. He deserves to be in that conversation. DeMar DeRozan, it's been great debate if he should be an all-star this season. It has been. I think he should. I think it's time. Everything he's had to go through, the trade from Toronto, not making the playoffs, to now the Spurs are an 8th seed. DeRozan's averaging 25 and 5. I think it's time. And I've never been sold on DeMar DeRozan. I haven't. But I'm saying now he should be an all-star this season. Those were my picks for all-stars this season. I hope everyone realizes that my picks are going to be correct. So just know, when it comes down to it, Rod's always right. There's been a lot of debate about who the Rookie of the Year is. Beginning of the season, I said James Wiseman. Do I still stand by that right now? No, I don't. And you know why? Because of Lamelo Ball. Lamelo Ball is somewhat surprising, but not surprising. We've watched this kid grow up. Right now, he's averaging 13, 5, and 6. And you might be like, what? How is that in any way spectacular? Well, why don't you turn up the volume and listen closely. Lamelo Ball last night dropped his career high. 34 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds on 51% from the field. 0 turnovers. 0. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 22 points per game, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, almost 2 steals a game. The kid is insane. This is once-in-a-lifetime talent. And the Hornets got a steal with Lamelo Ball. Even though he went 3, they got a steal. Lamelo Ball, now I looked at him as a walking triple-double, just like Luka Doncic. Luka in his rookie year averaged 21, 6, and 7. Could Lamelo Ball be putting up them numbers now that he's starting? Possibly. It's going to be interesting to see LaMelo grow because this kid's potential is crazy. Will he be the best ball brother? I think so. If he's on this path to greatness, of course. LaMelo Ball now is my pick for Rookie of the Year. I'm hopping on the bandwagon. I am. James Wiseman, I'm sorry. You're just not going to get it. There's too much hype on LaMelo Ball. There's way too much hype. And there's no doubt in my mind, and there shouldn't be a doubt in anybody's mind, that LaMelo Ball is now the Rookie of the Year. And now it is time. The first ever segment of college basketball on Rod's Radio. Let's get into it, man. First off, I just want to say this season for college basketball has been weird. You know, games have been postponed. We've seen teams do great, and we've seen teams that have done bad. Looks like this is going to be the first year in like forever that Duke, North Carolina, and Kentucky don't make March Madness. And that's just insane. But it goes to show that players don't want to go to those big schools anymore. They're done listening to Duke coaches, UNC coaches, and Kentucky coaches. They want to build their own name. They don't want to develop under that no more. They think they could just go to the league right away in their own way. Go to a school that lets them get the ball every possession. And for college basketball, I love it. I do. But we also see players who skip college and are going to the G League. We're going to be talking about that now, because here are my top 5 picks for the upcoming NBA 2021 draft. Number 1, I got Cade Cunningham. Do I need to explain myself? Cade Cunningham, 6'8" point guard, 7'2" wingspan. Right now he's averaging 18, 6, and 4. He is the player that every NBA team needs. It's crazy that Cade Cunningham is that height and plays point guard. He's amazing. Right now, Oklahoma State's 11-5. Do we see Cade Cunningham in the NCAA tournament? I don't know. I hope so, but I don't know. Number 2, I got Evan Mobley, who has been compared to Anthony Davis. He's averaging 16 and 9 on 58% shooting from the field. He's a skilled big man on both ends. He can shoot the 3 ball. He could defend. He can give you the posterizing dunks. I'm all for Evan Mobley, the next great NBA big. Number 3, I got Jalen Green. Now, he's not on any college team. Evan Mobley at USC, they're 14-3. Can't wait to see what he does in the NCAA tournament. At number 3, I got Jalen Green. Now, he decided to skip college and play in the G League, playing for Ignite. I think that's what their name's called. But if you've seen him in high school play, that man plays above the rim. It's crazy to think that he's the same age as me. It's crazy. He could do everything. And I can't wait to see him in the G League. Number 4, I got Jalen Suggs, who is the best player on the best team in the country, Gonzaga. They're 18-0 right now. Who's going to stop them? Nobody. Gonzaga's winning the NCAA tournament. Like, there's no debate. There's nothing a team could do to stop them. The only team that has a chance of beating Gonzaga is Baylor. And even Baylor's not even close. But Jalen Suggs, to me, he's like a Drew Holiday type player. He's averaging 13, 5, and 4. Jalen Suggs could be a sleeper in this year's draft. Teams might regret not drafting in number 1. I'll just say that. And at number 5, I got Jonathan Kuminga, who is the teammate of Jalen Green on Team Ignite. Kuminga can defend. He can make big shots. And honestly, he's kind of up there with Jalen Suggs. He could be a sleeper as well. He could be better than every single player in this draft. Only time will tell. I'd like to end this week's episode by discussing the NBA's funny-ass week that it's had. First off, LeBron got into it with a fan. A 26-year-old girl was trying to talk mess to LeBron. Now, the girl says LeBron was talking stuff to her husband. If you guys seen the video online, LeBron was saying, "Shut the F up." He also said, "Sit your ass down, old steroid ass." That was pretty funny. That guy actually has like beef with LeBron. He's always posting about LeBron, saying how he hates him, saying how LeBron's ruining everything. The girl was pointing her finger, swearing at LeBron. LeBron basically gave her free clout. I think she went up like 50,000 followers since the altercation. The LeBron effect, man. I think LeBron called her Courtside Karen. LeBron is funny. What do I think of the interaction? I loved it. The lady got thrown out, but I don't think she should have. I think they just did that because she didn't have her mask on, getting too close with players. But it was funny nonetheless. Next, I got Mark Cuban defending Luka. NBA reporter Zach Lowe said Luka is always whining every time he gets fouled, whining to the refs. They asked Mark Cuban about it. Mark Cuban said, "Shut the F up, Zach Lowe. You don't effing know anything." I would play the audio, but Mark Cuban was swearing up a storm. Lastly, if you haven't heard, Jared Dudley came out with a new book talking about the Lakers and Clippers rivalry. They asked Ty Lue about it. Ty Lue, the coach of the Clippers, immediately said, "A book? Jared Dudley? Who cares? Honestly, who does? I'm a Lakers fan, but who does? Who cares about Jared Dudley's book? And why are you going to ask Ty Lue about the book? Like he read it or something." I wouldn't expect Ty Lue to read Jared Dudley's book. Like, what? But Jared Dudley had this to say. Jared Dudley says NBA needs the Lakers to play the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals and the Nets in the NBA Finals. He's all about storylines and stars playing against each other. Jared Dudley said, I played on the Clippers, so I know the difference of how we perceived them and they perceived us, the rivalry. The Lakers getting all the media attention, Clippers don't, which is true. Nobody should argue that. Nobody should be mad at that. But also, Jared Dudley spoke on Paul George. He said, we think it's disrespectful for Paul George, who hasn't won, to put himself on the level of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And that's what motivated the Lakers in the postseason. Do I think that's true? Hell no. I think it was more Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, coming off an NBA championship, getting the New Balance commercial, riding in the car with the crown keychain, saying this is my city now. I think that's what drove the Lakers and LeBron more than anything. Nobody cares about no damn Paul George. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Paul George. I mean, it's Jared Dudley's opinion. Jared Dudley's in the Lakers locker room. Could he know more stuff than me? Obviously. But in my opinion, it was Kawhi Leonard. But that interaction was funny nonetheless. And that will wrap up this week's episode of Rod's Radio, episode 10. I want to thank everybody for supporting me. Thanks everybody for listening to me. I want to thank especially my supporters who have donated to my podcast, Fun Bobby and Porter. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys. And if you want to become a supporter, make sure you guys go to anchor.fm/rodsradio/supporter to donate to my podcast to help future episodes and future content for you guys. All money will be going to my podcast and back to you guys as well. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Rods_radio. That is at RODS_RADIO. Also, I like to shout out my clothing brand, OTO Worldwide, dropping next Friday, February 12th. Make sure you guys go to OTOWorldwide.com and sign up for updates. It's finna be huge, man. Follow OTO Worldwide on Instagram at Overcome the Odds, and follow OTO Worldwide on Twitter at OTO Worldwide. I want to thank you guys again for supporting me through the last 10 episodes. Here's to the next 10, man. I appreciate you guys. And with that being said, I only got one thing to say. Ride out.